How's it going, guys? It's Sam here. Welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through a sales pitch deck that I've created, and there is going to be a copy of this which you can download for free inside of my free school group. Now, normally I keep these kinds of resources for the paid group, but I thought in this instance, I'm going to keep a downloadable version of this inside of my free community. So if you go to the description box down below, I'll leave a link to my free school group and the resource will be up there. You can copy, you can paste this into your own Canva board and you can start selling with it today. Change the branding, change the logo, change the offer, whatever you need to do. But we're going to go through a sales pitch deck that I've put together, and I'm going to walk you through what I've done and why I've done it. So we're going to go through slide by slide. This is only 13 slides long. It doesn't need to be really long. The best thing about pitch decks is obviously you want them to be short enough so that you can kind of move around. So when you're on the call, if somebody asks you questions or you want to show them a case study, you want to share your screen and go into something else, you want to allow a presentation to do that. And so what I've done is I've laid out kind of the steps of what we're going to go through on the call. So when I'm on the sales call with a potential prospect, I start with this slide and just say, cool, here's just a quick call agenda, just so they know. Time 15 to 20 minutes, obviously, plus some Q&A at the end if you guys have any questions. I go through how it works, our process, our case studies, and a price and timeline at the end. So I let them know that we'll be giving you a price at the end of this call if you want to move forward. So first slide after this is a cover slide. So this is, I've added in some funny GIFs. Obviously, if you guys are working with, depending on what sector you're working in, you want to use GIFs that is kind of relevant to them. So depending on you can always use niche specific GIFs, things that I think were quite funny, kind of lighten up the mood. But basically what I've said is stop effing around with poor quality lead providers, marketing agencies, and expensive retainers. Instead, start buying pre-qualified exclusive sales leads today, which is obviously what this particular brand is positioned as. I've made this brand up, by the way. I bought the domain. I made the logo myself, which I will. There'll be I have a full walkthrough inside of my paid group as to how I kind of do this and my kind of do's and don'ts just around that. But yeah, I built this for this particular kind of example. So it's not a real brand at this point. It's just started. So yeah, I've got kind of 5 bullet points as to what we do. So all leads pre-verified, only pay for leads you receive, only pay for valid leads, 0 upfront payment, 0 setup fees. Now the best thing for you to do is to start with your target audience is like what their particular pain points are and what problems they have. And you want to kind of build a product around that, right? Which we're not going into specifically in this video, but that is what I've done in this instance. This is unniched, but if you guys had a particular niche you work in, you might want to brand this around your niche. So obviously talk about those particular pain points and problems that your particular sector has. And I've done like a kind of us versus them comparison. So these 2 slides is like us versus them. So I've got how other agencies work. I put most other agencies or lead providers will charge you upfront setup fees with no guarantees. Good for them, not so good for you. They will often create more work with as the less leads you'll receive will be low quality. So as the leads you'll receive will be low quality psychic leads, blah, blah, blah. And I've put like kind of some, things that most agencies, whatever they're using. So if you're working in a sector where they're using other agencies generally, then you want to compare yourself to that. But if you're working in a sector where they're using like other lead providers or lead sources, you want to kind of compare yourself to those things. So use what they're generally using. So we've got here 3-month contracts, no guarantees, 14-day setup, back and forth, upfront fees, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. And then we've got an us. So we've got how we work or how verifiedleads.co works. We provide nothing but qualified, verified, and exclusive leads on a cost per lead basis. So we've got 0 contracts, 3-day setup, guaranteed leads, no faffing, 0 upfront fees. So you kind of want to, when I'm going through these points, I would ask the questions like, do you guys struggle with any of these things? Like, do you guys have experience with this? And kind of get their take, and kind of, it's a to and fro process, right? You're asking questions, because if you were just to bang out these slides one by one, you would obviously be done with this presentation in about 5 minutes. But it's a question answer process. That's how you long it out, and that's how you kind of do sales, in my opinion. Next slide is our process. So I kind of walk them through a really kind of top level as to how it works. So I say we generate the lead, and I say we use a mixture of Meta ads and Google ads. Obviously, if you guys just do one or the other, you can put that in here. We have rapid follow-up, and I say our team of call handlers follows up with the leads within 5 minutes. Lead scheduled, we schedule the lead in a consult or appointment based on your calendar availability, and then lead verified. So all of this is the only part they have to do. So I say we pass that lead over to you to confirm and verify that appointment, or to confirm and verify that like consultation or whatever it is that you're selling. So that's the kind of the 4-part process as to what we do and how it works. And I would ask, do you have any questions about how that works? And again, to and fro about this. How that looks for you. So I put mostly providers, and I put like, these are all random, like AI generated names and email addresses. I put like status, no answer, like lost, callback, because probably a problem that they're often facing is like the lead quality. They're not booking on, they're not answering. They don't want to waste their time having to dial and follow up with leads that are going nowhere, right? So I put here pre-verified leads, and I've just changed it to status and the booked, sold. You get the idea, right? Because the whole point, the positioning of what we're doing is higher quality leads pre-qualified by our team. So you don't have to like spend hours following up. That's kind of the whole point of this. My next slide is kind of I like to use some kind of fact-based or study to kind of, I guess, verify what I'm saying. So you can see here the importance of follow-up. And what I did was I used a case study I found online from a company called Inside Sales, where they basically analyzed loads of leads and the speed of follow-up. And so like they found the conversion rates were 8 times higher when the leads were called within 5 minutes. And then I say, obviously, for you guys, that's virtually impossible for most business owners. They don't have time to do this. Again, I've added like a funny GIF. And then I might ask, do you guys, how quick is your follow-up time? How quick is your response time? If you wanted to go a step ahead, you could do like an analysis, which I think is really cool, where you actually leave an inquiry with that agency or that company's site, and you wait and see how long it takes them to call you back. That's a really, really cool thing to do. Obviously, it takes a little bit more time and effort, but like the more effort you put into each call you take, the better chance of closing that deal you're going to have. So like I would like to do that. So I would leave an inquiry, wait and see how long it takes. If it takes like a day to get back to me, I would say, look, I did an example of this. I would maybe add a slide in here and do like mystery shop analysis, and I'll explain that to them, like the problem with that. Okay, and explain why it's so important. And then again, I'm positioning us if we handle that for you, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So how that looks, so we've got ads, we've got landing page, we've got a call handling team, and then we've got appointment here. And I've just handpicked this particular ads from one of our templates inside of the group. And it's just like kind of an overview of how that looks, the funnel, and how explain how that works. Now, obviously, if I had, if you're doing this, I would pull up a live example at this point, which is the next 2 slides along. I would pull up an example and show them that live. So I'd show them the ads, I would show them the landing page, I would show them inside the system that we're using, and then I would show them the results on the back end of that and how that worked. So here we go, all your leads confirmed. So what I've done here is I've got all of the different touch points, inbound touch points. So I say that you get leads like inbound return phone calls, inbound emails, SMS messages, Facebook messages, website chat widget, quote, callback requests, comes to our team, our system, and then we qualify those leads for you and book them in. Okay. So all they have to worry about is this. They get a notification by text, and it goes into a really easy to navigate and really easy to update spreadsheet where they just fill in the status of each lead. Dead simple, right? And again, case study example. And that's pretty much everything that I do now. I would spend quite a lot of time on this page. I'd pull up some examples and ask some questions, explain just so they understand how it works. But ultimately, all they need to worry about here is leads and sales, right? So that is the kind of final step of the equation, is to kind of walk them through an example. I then have a wrap-up slide here, which is like timelines, guarantees, and what's required by them. So timelines, I say we can get you live within 24 hours, and then firstly within 72 hours. Guarantees, only pay for verified leads, only pay for leads you receive, and 0 ad spend charge. Now, if you guys were doing this where your client covers the ad spend and then you take your fee, you'd obviously remove that part. And in your requirements, you'd put that like, $500 or $1,000 ad spend requirement, or $30 a day, or $40 a day, or whatever it is. And then all the requirements that I need from them in this instance is provide their Facebook and Instagram page access so we can advertise via that. Verify the lead same day. So once we send that lead over, you have to verify it, call it that same day. Obviously, compared to normal, they might, with a normal lead provider, get 40 or 50 leads. In this instance, they might only get 10. So there's way less leads for them to call, but when they do come through, they need to be verified as quickly as possible. And then agree a maximum number of leads that we're going to provide for them, because the way we're going to be charging in this particular presentation, obviously you can adjust this, is based on like a maximum number. So, we might say we're going to aim to get you between 10 and 15. So we don't go past that point, and we'll charge them for the leads that we do provide, and they won't get charged for the ones that they don't, and they'll get charged at the end of the month. Obviously, we'll go through that on this part here. And the last slide is pricing. So I've got here deposit paid up front, £199. That's just to get their payment information on our system, on our Stripe, so that we can automatically charge them at the end of the month based on the amount of leads delivered. First 5 leads I put is free, which I quite like. Obviously, you've got a deposit here, so you're getting kind of, that could cover the ad spend that would be required to deliver those leads if you were doing it that way. But yeah, first 5 leads is free in this instance, deposit refunded if you don't want to continue, and then price per verified lead I've put at £99, that's including ad spend. Obviously, if you weren't including ad spend, you might want to put £30 or £50 paid at the end of the month. and then payment terms, pay within 7 days after the first 30 days. And I'll just leave this to open-ended questions. Now, obviously you can adjust this, but I think this pricing is easy to understand. Sometimes I see people with like loads of different options, right? And it makes it really difficult to navigate and for that user or lead to understand what's going on. In this instance, it's super easy to read, super easy to understand. We've got one product really that we're selling. So it's most important that you just make that pricing really, really easy for them to understand. Okay, so as I said, this is going to be available. All of these slides are going to be available for free inside of my school community. So I'll quickly show you where that will be. So it's going to be inside of the Agency Club free community. All you have to do is click the link in the bio, join the group, navigate to the classroom section, and there will be another module here called resources. And where this presentation, I'm going to put the resources to this presentation so you guys can get access to that. We've also got a free 5-day challenge that has like 3 modules. We talk about lead gen, sales, and offers, I believe, so you guys can go and watch that for free. And if you guys want to join the pay community, which has like a full 5-week course, you can get the first week of that for free in here. You can watch this first one for free, but if you want to get access to the full course as well as group coaching with myself, and also an extensive list of other courses and resources such as like a Facebook ads course and a lot of other stuff which you can find out more about in the description. There'll be a link to both. So thanks for watching. Just a quick one for you guys today, but I thought you guys would find that useful, and obviously it's a free resource you guys can go ahead and download and use for yourself. So make sure if you enjoyed it, you liked the presentation, you found value from this video, subscribe to the channel. You can do it down below, give the video a like, and if any questions, drop a comment down below. I try to respond to everybody when I can. So I'll see you guys in the next video.